Hi, everybody, and welcome to OJT Talk. I'm Vonda, the host of this episode, and there's my best friend and co-host, Lydia. Hey, Lydia.
Hello.
And for this episode, we're going to be talking about some personal life experiences that we've had and overcome and gotten through, and hopefully sharing it will inspire or help somebody else along. So we're going to be talking a little bit about my divorce that I just went through, and actually I'm going to have to take him back to court again. And Lydia's going to be talking about the heartbreak part. Heartbreak does not just occur between, in a relationship between two people. There are all different kinds of heartbreak. And so Lydia experienced, a pretty bad heartbreak. I'll let her go into that. So, Lydia, you want to start or you want me to start?
Sure, I can go ahead and start. As Vonda was saying, she's going through, she just went through a divorce. And I kind of went through a divorce of a different kind. I was a licensed minister for about, I want to say 8 years. And I was a minister at a church. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was how I had a breakup and a heartbreak from that church. Vonda and I would talk and she's like, Lydia, I don't know, you might want to leave. And, when you are really in it, when you are really in any kind of relationship, I'm talking about my relationship with a particular church. But when you're in a relationship, a lot of times you have blinders on and you don't see what other people see. So they would see people taking advantage of me. Vonda would see people taking advantage of me, or maybe not might have my best interests in heart. In any case, a few years ago, I went through a really bad breakup with my church, if you want to say that. I had to leave because out of nowhere, the same church that I served, the same pastor I served, started talking about me, saying that spreading rumors. And it had changed significantly from when I first started. When I first started, I was in classes. I just wanted to grow and learn all about the Bible and everything else like that. And I found somebody in my pastor, where he was saying things that I had never heard before, and it made sense. But over time, things changed. I think the Bible says, the love of money is the root of all evil. And I believe things changed when he started focusing on being able to afford the church that he was in and his lifestyle. And I don't know. I just feel like when you are hurt by a church, anybody is hurt by a church, or it really affects you because it's a different kind of hurt, because your faith is who you are and who is a part of you. So then you start questioning everything. And then once I got out of that, I started realizing some of the things I was being taught wasn't exactly biblical. It was more of an opinion, or it was tradition. It wasn't really biblical. So now I'm questioning everything. I can't go to a different church and try to sit under a different pastor because I don't trust anybody. Anyway, I'm on the other side of this, and I'm looking back, and I mean, I'm not in a church right now. I attempted to last year, and that didn't end well, but I wanted to just share that part of me, because you might hear me share different scriptures, different things about faith. That's kind of who I am as a person. It's not to try to shove it down your throat or anything like that. That's just who I am. But at the same time, I'm also dealing with some of the things that I learned is supposed to be a sin when it's not. And, um, Vonda can tell you, I've struggled with a lot of different things since then. I don't know, Vonda, am I missing something? Is there something you think I should hit on?
And you're doing good. Your story, your journey.
My journey. So anyway, where I am right now, on the other side of this, um, I still have my faith as who I am. However, I trust very little pastors and religious leaders, and that I really believe in this day and age, we have a lot of religious leaders that have wrong intentions, have their own personal agendas or different agendas that they're trying to accomplish instead of what is in the Bible. So in my personal walk right now, I am basically dealing with it on my own. I'm relearning the Bible. Of course, some of it is still, a lot of what I've learned was actually biblically correct, but there's a lot that is not. And that heartbreak took me 2.5 years to get over. And I'm barely in a good space now.
And I think a lot, and this is just my personal opinion. Lydia knows that, I've told her. So the more you guys watch us, you're going to find out I'm extremely outspoken. So I don't really believe in holding anything in or holding back. Thanks, Lydia. But
I love that about you.
Thank you. I think that a lot of people glorify preachers, pastors, ministers, whatever you want to call it. That's not the way it's supposed to be. They're human.
Right.
They're human.
Right.
So I don't know of any perfect person walking around on this earth. I've never met anybody. But people they act like, in my opinion, not all people, but a lot of Christians glorify their leadership. That's wrong. That's wrong. They get taken in. I've always said, okay, yes, the Bible says to tithe, to give your 10%, but at the end of the day, a church is a business.
Right.
A church is a business. Electric has to be paid.
Right.
The pastor's not preaching for free.
Right.
So do I think that they're good leaders in Christ? Yeah, but they're bad ones too. Right. So I'm just going to keep it real. They're bad ones. Everybody, every pastor does not have all of the members' best interest at heart.
Right.
Some do, but there's a lot that don't. So,
and one of the things that I was going to say too, I forgot to mention, is that, as I stated before, it didn't start off that way. Just like in a lot of abusive relationships, it doesn't start off that way. So it didn't start off that way. You got taken in by what you felt was the truth. And then later on, you realize that you're being manipulated. You realize that you're being brainwashed. So,
yes,
it's almost I hate to say this, but a lot of churches are now cults. And I know that's going to make a lot of people upset, but they are, because, you're supposed to pray for your leadership, which is, I honestly believe that. But, you just never know what their agenda is behind the scenes, and you don't know what they're doing. That's why you have pastors that are cheating, and then the church falls apart. You have pastors that steal money from the church or live in large, and then, people are just make up excuses for them, because at the end of the day, they're cult leaders. A lot of them are cult leaders. And that's why I said in a previous episode that evangelical Christians are predisposed or predispositioned, I guess, to accept someone like a Trump, because they are just blindly believing anything they say. And so anyway, that was my journey. I'm on the other side. I have, at one point last year, I was completely angry. I was nearly cussing out every single all the Christians and how they handle other people and how
that's not Lydia, y'all. That's not
it's not me.
That's not her spirit.
No, I'm not that person. But it's, but last year I was so angry and but now I'm at peace, and I believe God's given me that peace. And I realize that there are a group of people that may have had to come out of the church in order to see what's really going on in the church. Because if we don't start calling stuff out that's going on, that's bad, who is? Because the people in the church that are brainwashed are not going to say anything. They're going to keep making excuses.
That's true.
And that's where I'm at right now. So maybe God has a different project for me. I don't know. But that's the heartbreak I dealt with. And, if you're going through something like that, you can always reach out to me, but I will totally understand, because I went through it too.
And so, see, the comeback is always greater than the setback.
Come on now.
So, and now we'll move into my divorce. Right. So I filed for divorce from my husband in 2018. Have not communicated with him since. I sent him a text message, told him I was filing for divorce, stay away from my daughters, don't come back to the house. And have not communicated with him since. So 2018 was, from 2018 until now, probably the worst experience I've ever had. Hurricane Michael.
Ooh. Hurricane Michael.
My mother lived with me. Her room got completely destroyed. I'll have to post the pictures. Her whole window got blown out. Mm-hmm. So that was in October. I filed for divorce in November, right after Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And this is the man I was married to. So I'm going to show you guys something, try to cover up the personal information. These are 3 claims checks from Hurricane Michael. This is the back. They've never ever been endorsed. The insurance company mailed these claims checks to my house so the house could get repaired. I mean, my whole roof, there.
Tarp.
Yes. So I'm like, I'll just, hold on to the checks when we go to mediation. We'll sign them, send them off to the mortgage company. The checks were made out to 3 people with the word "and." Him, me, and the mortgage company. Well, Preston and I don't have any children together. We were married almost 14 years. And I'm like, I started packing up my items in the house because I was planning on moving anyway. And I'm like, we don't have any children. This divorce is not going to be that long. Well, the claims checks, time just goes on and on and on. It's getting close to the 6-month mark. And I'm like, let me call and see if I can call the insurance company, see if I can have new claims checks sent out. Guess what, you guys? I called the insurance company, and I want y'all to take a look. My husband had new claims checks issued and sent to him. He signed all of them, just his signature. Let me cover up. All of them, just his signature. Bypassed me and the mortgage company and did a mobile deposit into the bank. Ooh. He got the claims money. No repairs were done to the house.
Illegal.
Lydia comes to see me. There's tarp over my mom's bedroom window.
Yes.
Lydia's like, Vonda, this is just wrong. We got to do something. The men in my neighborhood, my neighbors, came and put plywood up to cover up the window.
Right.
Ridiculous. So with that being said, I know I definitely did the right thing by filing for divorce. And a lot of people will say, oh, Vonda, I don't know. Are you okay? Be happy for me, because I can tell you I'm happy.
Yes.
I'm doing just fine. I'm happy. I'm in a good spot. But what bothered me the most is that me and this man lived under the same roof. I didn't know he had this side to him. So we get the divorce. He's supposed to pay me alimony. He's now 3 months behind. Hasn't paid a dime. I went through, and like I told you guys, I have not contacted him at all. No text, no phone call, nothing. I'm like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. And Florida, my attorney said alimony is treated just like child support. He could, it's up to a judge. He could possibly go to jail or end up paying more money.
Right.
But that's a court order. The judge signed off on it. My divorce is final. So it's like it never ends. And I told Lydia, I've got to talk about this divorce, because you never know what somebody's going through. A lot of people don't know the laws. Right. You also have to be careful about who you allow in your circle. Seeds grow, good ones and bad ones.
Right. Florida
is a no-fault divorce state. So an acquaintance said, you're not going to be entitled to alimony. Mind you, I said an acquaintance, not an attorney, an acquaintance.
Right.
They were wrong. So if there's anybody that is watching this, just do your due diligence. Don't be mean, or vindictive. You do the right thing at all times, but do your part, do your due diligence. Because the comeback is always better than the setback. And although we're in a pandemic, I have a good heart. I will try my best to help out anybody.
Right.
But it's not my fault that we have a pandemic right now. He didn't pay what he was supposed to pay. So I'm not going to have a choice. He got away with a lot of money. He got that money.
Right.
Without
that
the
house is still messed up. Yes, exactly.
With the house being messed up.
Right.
He's got to do the right thing. So unfortunately for him, I am going to have to take him back to court. So I want everybody to know, you do what you're supposed to do. We can't ever control anybody else but ourselves. And when you get so far down, there's only one direction to go, and that is back up. That is back up. There's only one direction to go. And I'm going to be having, or me and Lydia, we're also going to be having a mental health counselor that's going to be coming on to give some tips to me, Lydia, all of you, to help during this pandemic. Abuse is on the rise. Depression definitely is on the rise. And I just want everybody to know, I have no family in Panama City, Florida. None. None. I have no ties there. No connections. None. But I made it through. So, Lydia, I don't know if you wanted to say anything else before we close out.
I do want to say something. What we went through is common for a lot of people. And just to know that you haven't gone through that by yourself is something that a lot of people need to hear. And like you said, Vonda, you went it through and you were by yourself, stuck in that place.
Man, I filed for divorce in 2018. My divorce was not final until June of 2020.
This year. And not only was her house it was falling apart.
Yeah, you guys have no idea.
It was falling apart because it literally, Hurricane Michael tore that place up. I mean, it was still livable somewhat, but her house was messed up. And not only that, but the town, Panama City, was jacked up.
Wow.
So you have
no places that still have not.
Right.
Yeah.
So in any case, she went through a lot, but like she said, the comeback is always greater than the setback, right?
Always.
But one thing we got to keep in mind is that comebacks are contagious. So when once you're coming up and your comeback is great and my comeback is great, guess what? People get encouraged and their comeback starts happening, and it's just a blessing to see. And also, one other thing is be happy for people when they do get their blessing, because you don't know what they went through to get it.
You know what? That is so true. People see my glory, but they don't know the story. They don't. And I didn't even tell you guys everything. I showed you one thing with the house.
Right.
I shared one personal experience, but I just felt like you needed to know. And you guys, Lydia, man, after I filed and things came out, every day on the phone, every day, every morning,
every day
on the phone,
having conversations like these. Yeah.
But just do your due diligence. You do what you're supposed to do if you're going through something, and check your circle. Check who you're surrounding yourself with and find out who has your back and who doesn't. So, but you can make it through.
And one thing too is betrayal from another person is not always your fault.
That's right.
And it's them a lot of times. When the pastor was saying stuff about me, I knew I didn't do anything wrong, but those rumors were spreading around the church, and it's like everybody started turning against me, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. But you don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to, even though I did make one post where I try to defend myself. But in any case, you don't have to defend yourself. Everything always comes out in the end.
It does. And, Lydia was talking about betrayal, and she said that it's, not your fault. That's on them. I want to tell you guys something. So, I'm glad I'm saying this. No, I'm not dating. I'm not interested in being in a relationship with anybody now. But I told you guys I filed for divorce in 2018. When Lydia came and we went to Lowe's or Home Depot, Lowe's. And as soon as we get out of Lydia's car, a guy approaches me, gives me his phone number or whatever, asked me to call him. And I was nice. And, I was like, okay. I didn't give him my number, but I also didn't call. Why? This is, I'm going to say this, but we won't go into it, but we'll definitely have to do an episode on this, Lydia.
Right.
Not because I respected my husband. I don't respect him. I have no respect for anybody, man or woman, that would do the things that he did to me.
Right.
None. But I've been cheated on in the past. That is not a good feeling. I said
Right.
that I would never do that to anybody.
Right.
I did not communicate, go on a date with anybody, not because I respected him, but because I respected me and I was still married.
Right.
I have integrity. I think that matters. So whatever situation you find yourself in, whether it's a work relationship, a personal relationship with church family,
Right.
you always do the right thing.
Always.
Always. And remember, the comeback is always greater than the setback. So Lydia, let everybody know where they can find you at.
Just Lydia 111 spelled Lydia, and the merch.
Definitely merch.
If you notice, I'm wearing our logo shirt today. Woo, woo, woo. And Vonda's wearing the comeback is greater than the setback. So, I'm wearing the logo shirt. That's going to be available on our website. The link's going to be in her Twitter. I'll put that in mine too. But also on our Facebook page, there's a button that says shop now. But if you don't go there, you can go to o-just-talk.myshopify.com. And that is all I have for you today.
And you can find me at Ovonda, OHVONDA, at all social media platforms. And on my personal Twitter page, there's a link for our merch. And always, if you guys have any questions or comments, you can hit us up on YouTube, on Twitter, Instagram. Just let us know. We appreciate the feedback. And I want to thank everybody for their support.
Yes.
I really appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody that's given feedback. So
yes,
it means a lot. So thank you for tuning in to this episode of I'll Just Talk. I hope that we were able to help or encourage you guys, and we'll see you again soon. So,
see you.
All right. Have a good night, Lydia. I'll be talking to you as soon as this recording ends.
That's how we do.
Bye,
All right,
everybody.
Bye.